In a quiet suburban neighborhood, the unthinkable happened. A young woman became the target of a relentless stalker whose obsession spiraled into a deadly confrontation. How did a simple infatuation turn into a fatal nightmare? Meet Sarah, a vibrant college student with dreams of becoming an artist. Little did she know, her life was about to be shattered by a person she barely knew. This is the story of a fatal obsession. Her stalker, Jake, was a classmate who became fixated on her. Initially, it seemed harmless, an admirer from afar, but as weeks turned into months, his behavior escalated dangerously. At first, Sarah received sweet messages and small gifts. They felt flattering, but soon those tokens turned sinister. Unbeknownst to her, she was caught in a web of Jake's escalating obsession. As Jake's fixation tightened, he began to invade Sarah's personal space. He showed up unexpectedly at her favorite coffee shop and later at her art classes, leaving her feeling trapped. One day, while walking home, Sarah noticed Jake following her. A chill ran down her spine. This was no longer a harmless crush. It had morphed into a terrifying nightmare. Confiding in her friends only heightened her fears. They urged her to take action, but Sarah hesitated, unsure if she was overreacting. Would anyone believe her story? Despite her growing anxiety, Sarah attempted to maintain her normal life. She went to parties and continued her studies, but Jake's presence haunted her every move, casting an ominous shadow. Then came the turning point. Jake's obsession turned violent. He confronted Sarah one evening, demanding to know why she was avoiding him. The confrontation left her shaken to the core. Terrified, Sarah reported Jake to campus security. But what followed was a chilling realization. Stalkers often evade justice, and she was about to learn this lesson the hard way. Jake was questioned but released, leaving Sarah with a sense of dread. She felt the threat of his return looming over her, even as she tried to focus on her studies. As weeks passed, Jake's behavior worsened. He began showing up unannounced at Sarah's home, leading to sleepless nights filled with paranoia and anxiety. She felt like a prisoner in her own life. With no help from authorities, Sarah sought advice online. She learned about self-defense and how to document instances of stalking. Knowledge became her only weapon against her stalker. With newfound resolve, Sarah decided to take control of her life. She began to change her routines, take different routes home, and increase her awareness of her surroundings. However, Jake's obsession only intensified. He began leaving threatening messages, showcasing his anger and desperation. Sarah's fear escalated as she realized he was becoming more unpredictable. Eventually, Sarah's worst fears came true. One fateful night, Jake showed up at her home uninvited. The encounter would change everything, marking the culmination of his obsessive behavior. As Jake forced his way inside, Sarah fought back with everything she had. She had prepared for this moment, but nothing could truly prepare her for the reality of her fight for survival. During the struggle, Sarah managed to escape and call for help. First responders arrived quickly, but the aftermath left her shaken and traumatized. The community would feel the impact. In the wake of the incident, Sarah became an advocate for stalking awareness. She shared her story to help others understand the dangers of obsession and the importance of speaking up. Jake faced legal repercussions after the assault, but for Sarah, the emotional scars ran deep. The journey to recovery was long, filled with therapy and self-reflection. As she rebuilt her life, Sarah found strength in her community. Support groups formed, connecting victims of stalking and allowing them to share their stories in a safe space. Through her advocacy, Sarah emphasized the importance of recognizing the signs of stalking early on. She urged others to take threats seriously. Often, they escalate beyond control. Sarah's story resonated far beyond her community, sparking discussions nationwide about stalking and victim rights. She became a voice for the voiceless, igniting change. While healing takes time, Sarah learned to reclaim her life, turning her trauma into a mission for change and empowerment. Her journey is a testament to resilience. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder of the real dangers of obsession and the importance of vigilance. Always trust your instincts and never hesitate to seek help. Together, we can stop the cycle of violence. Despite Sarah's determination to move forward, shadows of her past loomed large. The fear of her stalker still haunted her daily life, making her wary of public spaces. Friends and family rallied around her, providing support but also voicing their concerns about her safety. Months passed, but the psychological toll was immense. Sarah sought therapy, where she learned about trauma responses and coping strategies. The therapist emphasized the importance of not letting fear dictate her life, encouraging her to reclaim spaces once again. Meanwhile, the police continued their investigation into the stalking case. They uncovered disturbing patterns in the stalker's behavior, revealing past incidents with other victims. The team was determined to prevent another tragedy and to hold the stalker accountable. As Sarah began to feel empowered, she decided to speak out publicly about her experience. She hoped to raise awareness and help others in similar situations. Her story was featured in a local news segment, igniting conversations about stalking and victim rights. This newfound advocacy role connected Sarah with other survivors, creating a support network. They shared their experiences, forming a bond that strengthened their resolve to fight against stalking. Together, they organized community workshops to educate others. However, the stalker was still at large. As Sarah's public visibility increased, the police decided to enhance their protective measures for her. They installed security systems at her home and increased patrols in her neighborhood, prioritizing her safety. Despite the precautions, Sarah often felt vulnerable. The fear of the unknown lingered, leading her to occasionally look over her shoulder. She recognized the importance of balancing vigilance with living her life fully, a dance that felt precarious at times. As the months rolled on, the investigation hit a breakthrough. The police identified the stalker's vehicle through surveillance footage. This crucial piece of evidence reignited hope in Sarah and the community, as they anticipated justice. With a clearer picture of the suspect, detectives began to piece together his background. They uncovered a troubling history of obsession and violence, shedding light on the real dangers posed by such individuals in society. As the police built their case, Sarah learned about the power of community support. Local activists joined her mission, amplifying her voice and pushing for stronger stalking laws to protect victims, highlighting a collective demand for change. The media attention surrounding Sarah's case began to attract more victims to come forward, sharing their own stories of stalking. This surge in public discourse highlighted the pervasive issue of stalking that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. With increasing pressure, law enforcement expedited their investigation. They conducted numerous interviews and surveillance operations. The urgency was palpable, as everyone understood the stakes involved in capturing the stalker before he could strike again. The deeper the investigation went, the more unsettling details emerged about the stalker's fixation on Sarah. He had been following her for months, documenting her movements and activities, further emphasizing the chilling reality of obsession. As authorities prepared for a potential confrontation, Sarah's emotional turmoil peaked. The fear of retaliation weighed heavily on her mind, yet her unwavering resolve pushed her to continue advocating for change, even in the face of danger. Finally, a tip led the police to the stalker's location. A tense standoff ensued, with officers executing their plan to apprehend him. The community held its breath, anxiously awaiting news of Sarah's safety and justice being served. After what felt like an eternity, the police successfully detained the stalker. Sarah's relief was palpable, but the psychological scars lingered. She knew the journey ahead was long, requiring both healing and justice to be served. As the legal proceedings began, Sarah prepared to face her stalker in court. It was a daunting prospect, but she was resolute in her mission to reclaim her life and assert her power over the haunting experience she had endured. During the trial, devastating testimonies from Sarah and other victims painted a picture of terror inflicted by the stalker. The courtroom was filled with tension as the reality of his behavior sunk in for everyone present. The verdict finally came in, but it was neither decisive nor satisfying. While the stalker was convicted, Sarah knew the emotional scars would take longer to heal. She braced herself for the long road ahead, determined to advocate for change. In the aftermath, Sarah focused on her healing journey. She continued her advocacy, now with a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding stalking. Her story became a rallying cry for others to take a stand against obsession and violence. As more voices joined Sarah's cause, legislation began to shift. Advocates pressed for stricter laws on stalking and improved resources for victims. The movement gained traction, fueled by the courage and resilience of those affected. Through her experiences, Sarah learned the power of community and resilience. She transformed her pain into purpose, helping others find their voices and navigate the complexities of healing from trauma. Her journey inspired many. Yet, the journey was not without its challenges. Sarah faced moments of doubt and fear, but each setback only strengthened her resolve. She understood that healing was not linear and embraced the ups and downs along the way. As time moved on, Sarah's advocacy expanded beyond her local community. She began collaborating with national organizations to spread awareness on stalking prevention and victim support resources across the country. Sarah's story reached far and wide, sparking dialogues in schools, workplaces, and communities about the realities of stalking. Educational programs were developed, focusing on prevention and empowering potential victims to seek help. Eventually, Sarah penned a book detailing her experiences and insights on surviving stalking. It became a beacon of hope for many, providing guidance and fostering conversations on a topic that often goes unspoken. As Sarah reflected on her journey, she recognized the strength that came from vulnerability. Sharing her story empowered others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of awareness and change in the community. Sarah's advocacy highlighted the importance of mental health resources for survivors. She fought to ensure that therapy and support were accessible, knowing firsthand the impact it could have on healing and recovery. As her movement grew, Sarah was invited to speak at various events nationwide, inspiring others to take a stand against stalking. She became a recognized voice in the fight for victims' rights, embodying resilience and hope. Through her journey, Sarah discovered that healing is an ongoing process. She embraced her scars as symbols of strength, continuously reminding others that it's okay to seek help and lean on others for support. Ultimately, Sarah's story serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. It demonstrates that while trauma can leave deep marks, hope and healing can often be forged in the fire of adversity. As we conclude Sarah's journey, let us reflect on the importance of awareness and action against stalking. Her story encourages us all to stand together, because change begins with each of us.